Happy spring! At the time I'm publishing this video, the first official day of spring has just arrived. And today I'm going to share some styling tips that can help you take your look from the freezing days of winter into the optimistic days of spring. If you're new here, I'm Ebony, and I not only share styling advice and review my favorite luxury purchases, I also mix in videos on how to live your best life in your 30s and 40s. If you like designer reviews, styling tips, or investment-worthy pieces, please be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button. It really helps my channel grow, and I appreciate you all so much. Dressing for transitional weather, especially winter into spring, can be very tricky. One day it's freezing, the next day it's warm. Coats slowly begin to feel too heavy, but it's not quite time to put on those classic spring or even summer outfits. Footwear can help make or break your outfit when you're transitioning into a new season. Why are shoes the best place to start? They set the tone for your entire outfit. If the weather isn't quite warm enough, boots still read super winter. They're heavy on the feet, whether they're your classic Chelsea style boot or a chunky heel, Uggs, snow boots, even rain boots. Swapping for a different shoe instead of changing your entire outfit can really shift the overall look to be a little bit lighter. Even if it's not your true spring attire, the weather is no longer freezing that you can comfortably wear something that shows your ankles, or you don't have to wear heavy socks and protect your toes. Shoes are also a great place to start because it's an easy swap instead of having to overhaul your entire wardrobe. I know living in the city, space is limited, and all of my spring and summer wardrobe is actually tucked away in containers under my bed. And I'm still grabbing for those sweaters or those light coats or heavy jackets because, again, transitional weather, it's spotty. Because I'm not ready to move in all my beautiful dresses and skirts and light tops, the right springtime shoe can help me transition into that new season while I'm still able to feel comfortable with the clothing that I have on. No designer does a classic, timeless transitional shoe better than Chanel. I'm sharing 4 of Chanel's most iconic shoe styles that are perfect for this in-between time period. I'm also going to be sharing styling tips, my personal reviews, and if I would purchase them again. I want to add that you do not need to own a Chanel or go out and buy any of these Chanel shoes to apply what I'm going to share in terms of styling to make your overall look feel lighter by using shoes in this transitional time period. Because these styles are such classic silhouettes, it's likely that you have a similar style in your closet or it's on your wish list, whether it's a designer or not. Please know that my push isn't for the Chanel shoe specifically, but more so the focus on why that silhouette and style is a great introduction into spring, shoes that you likely couldn't wear in the very cold winter months. The first transitional shoe I'm going to share is an oldie but a goodie, and that is the Chanel Espadrilles shoes. And I have the version that is in the black leather. Espadrilles are lightweight yet structured, so it's perfect for transitional temperatures. Classic espadrille flats can come in leather like I have. They also are very popular in canvas and tweed. Regardless of leather or fabric, these are very breathable shoes, while also providing enough coverage over the majority of your feet as well as your toes, so that in the case temperatures drop, you don't get uncomfortable. It's really this braided rope detail that you see on espadrille shoes that pushes a shoe like this out of a fall or winter category to truly being spring and summer. Before I get into my review of the actual Chanel espadrille that I own, I do want to share some ways that you can style this shoe with some of your lighter weight winter pieces before you have to do any wardrobe overhaul. Because transitional weather can be cool, but it's no longer freezing, you have the flexibility to start showing your ankle, the top of your foot, or even parts of your legs. With an espadrille flat, you can pair them with ankle or relaxed fit jeans and top it with a lightweight sweater or even layer that lightweight sweater with a shirt underneath. And this is really for that early spring crisp weather. You can even wear these with full length straight leg pants and a long sleeve shirt to give yourself a more sophisticated look. Later in the season, you can swap it for flowy dresses with cardigans or even shorts. Espadrilles can not only work with your casual outfits, but you can slightly dress them up too. I happen to own the black leather, and that does help elevate this style of shoe. In terms of comfortability and durability, I have owned these for a few years, and I'd say they have held up very well. You have to be very careful with espadrille shoes, whether you have leather or it's canvas or other types of fabrics. And that's because of this roping detail. So if it looks like it's going to rain or it rained earlier in the day and there's puddles on the floor, you want to avoid wearing an espadrille shoe, which can limit you in the spring season because that's typically when it rains a lot in various regions of the States and the world. The Chanel espadrille is designed beautifully. It's a great quality of leather. I'm touching it now. It's so soft. I have not needed to wear any sort of foot protection when wearing these shoes. I haven't shared too much about my life in New York City just yet. I really look forward to doing that in upcoming videos. But one thing you will learn about me quickly is one of my favorite hobbies or pastimes or activities is to go for a long walk. I can wander on the city streets, and walking an hour, 2 hours is no problem for me. And so with that, I really do look to invest in shoes, especially flat shoes, that I can walk around in. I don't want to limit my walking days to just active shoes. There's no part of me that thinks my flat shoes should be shoes I can walk in for 12 plus hours, but at least 2-3 hours comfortably before my footbed starts to feel tired or it's rubbing against any other part of my foot in a way that is starting to chafe or blister it. In terms of the espadrille shoe and walkability, I would say it is comfortable enough to walk around in for a couple of hours. That said, when you are walking, your foot does expand. What I have done with this espadrille shoe to ensure it doesn't rub up against the back of my heel or even the top of my foot is I have purchased Moleskine, a sticky roll. If any of you aren't familiar with Moleskine, look it up on Amazon. That's where I purchased it. It's sticky on one side and you can stick it on the surface of your shoes, and on the other side it's this very soft fabric. And so I carefully lined around the opening of my espadrille shoe as well as the top of the shoe so that instead of the leather rubbing against my skin, it's this very soft fabric, which minimizes the risk of blistering or me cutting up my skin if I ended up walking too long in these shoes. Now these shoes do have a rubber sole. I haven't considered putting any sole protectors on it, but what you want to understand about rubber soles is they are going to wear down. Also, I imagine the roping around espadrille shoes can wear down too. I have had these for a few years, so they have held up, but this may not be a forever shoe that you could continue taking to a cobbler unless they're redoing the rope at some point and putting on a completely new sole. These are holding up okay. Another thing that I'm seeing is because of the rope detail, the more you wear them, the dirtier they are gonna get. And I'm not really sure how you would clean them. I'm not at a place where anything looks like such an eyesore that it needs to be cleaned, but that's something I do need to look into, which all is pointing towards, yes, these shoes have held up well. Yes, they are beautifully designed and crafted. However, when you think of going to a cobbler and taking a beautiful pair of leather shoes and all the ways that they can treat them, I am not sure what the limitations are for an espadrille shoe like this. In terms of sizing, it really depends. You just need to know your foot and brand by brand. If you're true to size there, if you need to size up, if you need to size down. There are plenty of reviews you can find online as well. I am a true 6.5 or 36.5. And with Chanel, generally, I do go half a size up. So these are a size 37, which is converted into a size 7 in the US. And it's worked out fine for me. I don't have slippage on the back of my heel when I'm wearing these, even prior to putting the Moleskine on, which, you know, adds a little bit of thickness to the shoe. I didn't have any issues with them kind of flapping off the back of my foot. Would I purchase these again? I do think shoe trends have changed a lot since I first purchased these espadrille shoes. They still sell the Chanel espadrille online, and there are a lot of other great espadrille shoes that you can find in various brands online and in store, whether they're heeled or flat. I personally, at this point, would not purchase another shoe. There are other classic shoes that Chanel makes that I would prioritize. I'll get to one in just a moment. I am happy I have these. I do plan on wearing them this year and, you know, at least a couple of times each spring and summer season, year after year, because they are so classic. I think the black and the leather really helps, but I don't see myself investing in another pair. Never say never, but in the foreseeable 3 to 5 years, I don't think so. The second Chanel style I'm going to share with you is their Slingback heel, which is the ultimate transitional shoe. It's closed-toed to keep your toes warm on a chilly morning, but it also has open back in case it warms up in the afternoon and it keeps you from overheating. And the classic lower block heel makes it more comfortable to walk around in during the day. There are numerous ways to wear and style this shoe, which can work with a number of transitional outfits for the coolest of days to the warmest of days. You can wear them with straight jeans and a trench coat, or a tweed jacket like the one I'm wearing today for an effortlessly chic look. And even though this is a chic shoe, you can absolutely opt in for more maximalist jackets or accessories and still style it back with a sleek pair of slingbacks. Later in the season, these styles of slingback shoes are perfect to wear with midi skirts or midi dresses, ankle jeans, and light blazers. Now on to my review of this shoe. So I have them here, and let's see what I gotta say. I keep all of my designer shoes, or as many as I can, in their boxes and their original wrapping, and I keep their dust bags handy for when I travel. The specific pair of these slingbacks that I own are in this classic two-tone beige with black toe cap. And this is in the shorter heel. I believe it's about 2 inches, and they do have one style that comes with a slightly higher heel, and these Chanel slingbacks come in a flat version as well. Now, why did I carefully take them out of the box and make a strange face when I was going into my review of the shoe? In terms of comfortability, I have worn these once, maybe twice, so they're near pristine condition, and that's because I mentioned that a lot of people, myself included, typically go half size larger in a Chanel shoe. And what I was reading in terms of sizing reviews for the slingback is that people found that one of the most uncomfortable things is the actual strap on the back. It slips off. And so I was nervous about going for a size 7, which is half a size larger than my usual size, because I didn't want that issue. So when I went into the store, I asked for a 6.5 and a 7. When I tried on the 6.5, it felt perfect. It felt extremely comfortable, and I walked around for a little bit in the store, and the slingback strap was not coming off or sliding off. So I was like, oh, I don't need to size up. I'm gonna go with a 6.5 shoe. Well, when I went to wear it for the first time, I was gonna wear it out to dinner, and I remember coming out to the living room and sitting with them on, waiting to head out for dinner. And at that point, I had them on over 5 minutes, less than 10 minutes, and my foot felt like it was cramping. So I felt like it was very constricted. On second thought, maybe I should have gone half size bigger. Since then, I've gone to a cobbler to try and stretch out the front. I also have tried methods to stretch them out myself at home. The issue with stretching out too much is that the toe box is reinforced with this beautiful weaved fabric, and so that restricts how much you can stretch out leather, which leather does stretch out when you break them in. I haven't found that to be the case because of this toe cap in the fabric. So where do I go from here? With a shoe like this, I clearly can't walk too much in the city. I don't normally purchase heel shoes to be able to walk for hours on end. However, because living in the city, you hop from dinner to drinks afterwards, or pre-drinks and then to dinner, or you have to walk a few blocks to a subway station. I would want my heels to at least be something I can wear for 5, 10, maybe 15 blocks. And so I'm talking about 10 to 15 minute tops of walking. And I can't even sit in these shoes for 10 to 15 minutes without them cramping. What I'm going to make an effort to do is to take these shoes with me to work so that I don't have to walk in them at all. But once I get to work, I can change out of the sneakers that I wore on my commute and then wear these during the day. I'm gonna really make an effort to see if I can naturally break these in a little bit more without having to wear them out and ruin them or scuff them up or give them any more wear and tear. If I come to the conclusion that even wearing them around the office at work isn't helping make these any more comfortable, I'm considering selling them. They're so beautiful. I'm really bummed. I don't know if I maybe down the line will go and purchase one in a size 7. For 6.5, it's not working for me, and if I can't break these in naturally indoors over the course of this spring, summer, I'm likely going to sell these because it hurts me when I own anything that I paid a lot of money for that I'm not using. My personal ethos on selling or rehoming items that had a hefty price point is if I'm not wearing them, they just don't belong to me anymore, and someone else can find true joy out of them. The third shoe is a year-round, lifetime wardrobe essential, and that is the Chanel Ballet Flats. For the price points that Chanel shoes are, yes, I'm always going to go with a classic style or classic color shoe. This is true for the bags as well. Surprise, surprise, I also have this in the beige with the black toe cap. And no, I don't find them duplicative to the slingback shoe. And you'll see why, because the end use and the overall look is very different. When I lived in California, I could wear these year round, walking to and from my car, running errands in them because it's not freezing cold. But I'd say a lot of regions in the United States and other parts of the world do have cold winters. So can you walk out in these? No, but can you change into them at work, etc., and it's still not read to summer or spring? Absolutely. But why these make a perfect transitional shoe into spring is, again, there's a lot of coverage, so your toes are going to not be freezing and exposed. What is different between these and an espadrille is more of the top of your foot is showing, so it leans even more spring and summer. Now, not only is this to transition your wardrobe, but when you think about even your casual outfits where you are opting for a sneaker, this is a great alternative. I know that last year and the year before, suiting wide leg pants paired back with vests or some other clean top or tee, that's kind of been a lot of women's uniform. A lot of them wore them with sneakers, you know, those low profile sneakers like a Samba or a Gazelle. And I've heard a lot of women saying, well, I like the look of, you know, suiting and wide leg pants. I'm kind of tired of wearing them with only sneakers. These are a great alternative. It keeps it casual in some ways, but also adds a more polished, refined look to change it up from the casualness of sneakers. And it's the perfect in-between shoe because it's a great swap in when boots feel too heavy, but it's just too early to wear sandals. There's a number of great ways to style these shoes. As I just shared, you can wear them with tailored trousers and jackets for a polished city look, or wide leg pants and jeans with a long or short sleeve t-shirt for a more casual look. You can style these with mini and maxi length dresses and skirts when it gets warmer. I personally am 5'2", so I would stay away from wearing a midi dress or midi skirt with this flat shoe. It just doesn't work well with my proportions. Mini or maxi, these would look divine. I find these shoes to be so feminine and so timeless. I actually am very surprised that it had been years of me not wearing ballet flats before I purchased these. And I have to say, of my 4 Chanel shoes that I'm sharing with you today, these are my absolute favorite, and I can imagine myself owning multiple pairs of these. I actually was ready to purchase another pair last fall, but I logically thought, you live in New York City and soon you are going to have very limited days to be able to wear a ballet flat because it's freezing cold. So you may as well wait until spring and see what new colorways and tweed patterns come out. And so that's gonna be at the top of my shopping list in the coming weeks and months. These took very minimal time to break in, and one trick that I do when I am wearing new shoes, no matter the brand, no matter the style, is I already protect certain pressure points that I know on my feet, like the upper part of my heel or the top part of my foot, with some low profile bandages, so that while I am breaking them in and they are rubbing against my foot, I don't end up blistering. Because what happens is once you blister, you can't wear these shoes for a while until it heals, because it'll keep digging into that same place that hurt you. I'd say I had to wear these once or twice with bandages on. Now I can wear it without needing to have nylon socks. I don't have any moleskine lining these. They're a gorgeous leather and they did stretch. You want to make sure you have sole protectors put on these, because for as good as the quality of the leather, you will walk through your soles if you're wearing these often. So I have sole protectors on. I think I might also get some heel protectors put on these. And then you just continue to take them back to the cobbler every couple of years when you need your soles redone. So if you don't have ballet flats in your closet, I highly recommend you do go out and purchase a color or a style from a brand that you really enjoy, because they are chef's kiss when it comes to helping you transition your wardrobe from winter into spring without again having to overhaul your entire closet just yet. And if you have been considering purchasing a pair of Chanel shoes and you're not sure which of their iconic styles to get, my personal recommendation would be to start with the ballet flat. I have to share again, I'm a 36.5 and I did purchase these in a size 7, so a half size up. In hindsight, I don't know why I have been purchasing my Chanel shoes in size 7s, but when it came to the Slingbacks, I went with a 36.5. My mistake, but these I sized up half a size. Seems like a lot of the reviews also recommend that. But definitely go into a store and try these shoes on, no matter what shoe, and see if you could wear them whether sitting or standing in front of a mirror for upwards of 5 minutes, if not more, just to ensure you have the right size. That's a tip I should have also added for the slingback shoe. And last but certainly not least is the Chanel quilted flap loafers, which is a structured power shoe. Loafers, of course, provide a lot of foot coverage on those cooler days. And it's a great polished alternative from wearing sneakers or even an espadrille. And the way trends and styles have been recently, these also pair so well with warmer spring day outfits. Similar to the ballet flat, it's a great in-between option when boots feel too heavy and sandals are not quite appropriate yet. These are definitely more structured than, let's say, a Gucci Horsebit Jordan, which I also own and I love, and I feel like it has a different sleek look to it when it comes to the outfits I decide to wear either pair of loafer with. But let's just talk loafers in general and why it's good for this transitional time period and how to style them. You can wear your loafers with tailored trousers and jackets for a chic, timeless look. You can wear them with ankle-length denim, nylon socks, and a lightweight knit sweater on those days that are a little bit cooler. These also would look great with a car coat or a shirt jacket for early spring months. Later in the season, you can pair these with dresses and skirts, whether you're wearing them with tights or socks or layering both. And depending on how structured your loafers are, you can even wear them with shorts. These are definitely more structured than my Gucci Jordans. I didn't quite get into the chunky loafer trend that was big a couple of years ago. Some might see these as a chunkier loafer when they are more structured than a sleeker version. The reason why I purchased these, regardless of the heavier look, is this quilted flap gives it a nice feminine touch. And if you've ever been curious, yes, these are functional turn locks. So I can turn on the double C and lift. And there is this cute little pocket. I'm not sure what you'd put in here, a key, I don't know. But it's very cool that this is a functional flap. I purchased these half size up, so a size 7, and it has a unique feel when you put them on. Kind of like a glove, more like a soft handshake or a hug on your shoe. And so there's a comfortability already built into them, but of course you do need to spend some time breaking them in. I didn't find the break-in period to be too bad, and I didn't have any issues wearing them around the office all day or to walk around and run errands. But I got a little too confident, and I did end up wearing these out one day during lunchtime when I was taking a 45 minute stroll, and these shoes were not good for a long walk. It wasn't the kind of typical usual offenders that ended up hurting my feet. So it wasn't the back of the loafer or the top tongue of the loafer that were rubbing too much on my skin. It was actually on this inner part, lower inner part of the shoe. And it was rubbing up against my skin, both sides, that I ended up getting pretty nasty blisters. I did have no show socks on, but they were lower. They basically only covered my toes and my heel. And that is a lesson that I learned the hard way, and I'm not going to repeat. I'm not nervous about wearing these for the whole day around the office, but if I'm gonna be walking around the city for more than 20 minutes or so, I either need to fortify the inside of my foot with bandages or wear taller socks, or just know that this isn't a walking shoe or a long walk shoe by any means. But all day wear in the office or even on the weekend where you're not continuously walking for too long of periods, you can wear these. I do also think that issue that I had will become less of an issue the more I break these in. And I'm looking forward to that, but I'm never going to test that theory of walking for a long walk unless I have a different pair of tights or socks or something going on. Would I purchase these again? I'm very happy that I have these, and they would still be on my mind if I didn't purchase them. So love them, plan to keep them. As I see the soles are being worn down, I'm going to make sure I get sole protectors or rubber protectors put on at my cobbler. It's made so well that I can see it lasting a lifetime as long as you're caring for it in the way that you should. Would I purchase a second pair of these in a different colorway? I don't think so. I'm overall not a loafers girl. Between these and the Gucci, I also have the Gucci loafer and the slide version. I wear them enough, but I don't see the need to get a third classic loafer style or a fourth if you are considering the one that is open back. And that completes the 4 iconic Chanel shoes that I wanted to share and review with you today, and all the styling tips and ways you can wear these style of transitional shoes as we're moving from the freezing cold months of winter into the warmer temperatures of spring. If you enjoyed the styling tips or even the reviews for the specific Chanel style, consider your wardrobe and which silhouette of any of these shoes would work best for you and your lifestyle and your outfits if you are in the market to purchase any new shoes in these coming weeks. If you enjoyed this video and like luxury reviews, check out my handbag video. I walk you through all the handbags I purchased in 2024, as well as my review on my designer gold collection. I'll add them to the screen at the end of this video. And as a friendly reminder, please hit the like button and subscribe so that you don't miss any more of these videos in the upcoming weeks. And last but not least, leave a comment on what Chanel shoe was your favorite. If you own any of these shoes and you have a different review than I gave, please also add that in the comment section. It'll help others who are considering purchasing this shoe. Have a great rest of your day or evening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.